When Demi Moore shaved her head for G.I. Jane, the world couldn't decide if she was fearless or foolish. From stripping on screen to rewriting paychecks for women, Demi Moore's story isn't just shocking, it's downright game-changing. The small-town girl with big dreams. Demi Jean Gines was born on November 11, 1962, in Roswell, New Mexico. Her start in life wasn't easy. Her biological father abandoned the family before she was born. This left her mother, Virginia, to raise Demi alone. Later, Virginia married Dan Gines, a salesman with a job that kept the family constantly on the move. Demi's childhood was a whirlwind. Her family moved frequently throughout her early years, each new town bringing another round of starting over. Making friends and feeling at home was nearly impossible. By her teenage years, this instability left her craving something bigger. Her home life wasn't stable either. Chaos and upheaval defined much of her upbringing. At 16, Demi dropped out of high school. She later admitted regretting it, but at the time, it felt like her only choice. She was desperate to take control of her future. Los Angeles became her new beginning. Demi supported herself as a pin-up model and soon met Freddie Moore, a musician. At 17, she married Freddie, taking his last name as her professional identity. The marriage only lasted 4 years, but Demi Moore was here to stay. It was through her neighbor, actress Nastassja Kinski, that Demi got her first taste of Hollywood. Kinski encouraged her to try acting and introduced her to industry contacts. Demi started landing small roles, including her debut in the 1981 film Choices. In 1982, Demi got her big break on the soap opera General Hospital. Playing Jackie Templeton, she charmed audiences with her bold presence and undeniable energy. This role gave her a glimpse of fame and only made her more determined. Demi began taking acting lessons, sharpening her skills and chasing bigger opportunities. While others were content with minor roles, she pushed forward, unafraid to stand out. Breaking into Hollywood. Her first big screen moment came in 1984 with Blame It on Rio. It was a light, tropical romantic comedy. While the film didn't blow critics away, it gave Demi her first real taste of Hollywood. It also caught the attention of director Joel Schumacher. Schumacher cast Demi in his 1985 drama St. Elmo's Fire. The movie became an iconic part of the Brat Pack era. It captured the struggles and aspirations of 1980s youth. Demi played Jules, a character full of glamour and confidence on the surface but unraveling underneath. Jewel wasn't just a party girl. Demi brought vulnerability to the role. Audiences connected with Jewel, seeing the pressures of adulthood reflected in her breakdown. The movie itself got mixed reviews, but Demi's performance stood out. People noticed her. Hollywood saw her as more than just a pretty face. She was on her way to becoming a star. Off camera, Demi was battling her own demons. During filming, she struggled with substance abuse. Her role as Jules almost slipped through her fingers. Schumacher stepped in, giving her a choice: get clean or lose the part. Demi chose sobriety. This decision became a turning point. It allowed her to focus on her career and gain respect in the industry. Being part of the Brat Pack helped Demi at first. The group of rising young actors dominated screens in the 1980s. But Demi didn't want to stay in the pack's shadow. She knew she had more to offer. While others clung to ensemble roles, she started breaking away. Demi looked for parts that let her shine on her own. The Hollywood it girl. The 1990s turned Demi Moore into a Hollywood powerhouse. It started with Ghost in 1990. The supernatural romance became an instant classic. Demi played Molly Jensen, a grieving artist trying to connect with her murdered lover's spirit, played by Patrick Swayze. Her performance hit a perfect balance of heartbreak and resilience. She made the fantastical story feel real. The movie was a global phenomenon. It raked in over $505 million, becoming the year's highest-grossing film. Critics praised Demi's emotional depth. Fans loved her vulnerability and strength. One scene, though, stole the spotlight. The pottery scene with Swayze became iconic. It's still parodied and celebrated decades later. Ghost didn't just make money. It made Demi a star. She proved she could carry a movie on her own. Her next move showed she wasn't sticking to just romance. In 1992, she starred in A Few Good Men, a gripping legal drama. Directed by Rob Reiner, the film paired her with Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson. Demi played Lieutenant Commander Joanne Galloway, a tough Navy lawyer who wouldn't back down. Her role stood out. The courtroom scenes, especially Nicholson's explosive "you can't handle the truth" moment, became legendary. Demi held her own next to her co-stars. Her performance proved she could handle intense drama. These two hits skyrocketed her career. Demi started commanding some of the highest salaries in Hollywood. She was part of a shift where actresses began demanding pay equal to their male peers. Her rising power, though, came at a cost. Tabloids turned her life into a spectacle. Her relationships, family, and even her appearance were under constant scrutiny. Every move she made became headline news. Despite the noise, Demi stayed focused. The million-dollar paycheck. In 1996, Demi Moore earned a then-staggering $12.5 million for Striptease, one of the highest paychecks for an actress at that time. The groundbreaking paycheck was for her role in Striptease. The movie, based on Carl Hiaasen's novel, follows a single mom who becomes a stripper to fund a custody battle. The paycheck stole the spotlight. Hollywood was still a man's world, where actresses rarely matched their male counterparts in earnings. Demi's deal shook the system. It was proof that actresses could demand and get their worth. The role demanded everything from Demi. She trained for hours to perfect her routines and sculpted her body into peak form. Her hard work showed, but the movie's tone was all over the place. Critics couldn't agree if it was satire or melodrama. The campy plot didn't help either. Still, audiences were curious. The buzz around Demi's performance pulled people into theaters. The film grossed $113 million worldwide. It wasn't a flop, but it didn't live up to its hype. With such a high budget and Demi's record paycheck, expectations were sky high. The media pounced. Headlines questioned if she was worth the money. Instead of celebrating her achievement, many labeled her paycheck as excess. It was a double standard. Hollywood's men weren't criticized for big salaries, but Demi's deal became a spectacle. Demi didn't flinch under the pressure. She stood by her choice. For her, Striptease was more than a movie. It was a bold move to claim her power in an industry that rarely valued women equally. This period also revealed the price of stardom. As Demi climbed higher, the backlash grew louder. Some said she was overexposed. Others questioned if her fame was overshadowing her talent. But Demi wasn't one to back down. She kept taking risks, determined to carve her own path. Striptease wasn't a critical darling, but it proved one thing. Demi Moore was fearless. She played by her own rules, no matter what Hollywood or the tabloids said next. The role that went too far. In 1997, Demi Moore took a major risk. She starred in G.I. Jane, a Ridley Scott film about Lieutenant Jordan O'Neill. O'Neill was a fictional character breaking barriers as the first woman to undergo Navy SEAL training. The role demanded everything from Demi. In a defining moment, she shaved her head on camera. This wasn't just for show. It symbolized the grit her character needed to survive the training. Demi didn't stop there. She went through intense military-style workouts to prepare. She pushed herself physically and mentally to embody the role. The film had a bold message. It tackled sexism and inequality in the military. Some audiences found it empowering, but critics didn't hold back. Many called it overly dramatic. Others mocked its unrealistic portrayal of military life. Even Ridley Scott's direction came under fire for leaning too much on melodrama. At the box office, the movie didn't soar, not a flop, but far from a hit. The focus, however, wasn't on its earnings or themes. Instead, everyone talked about Demi's shaved head. Her transformation became a media circus. Late-night hosts made jokes. Tabloids ran endless headlines about her look. The substance of her performance got lost in the noise. Male actors who physically transformed for roles were praised. Demi faced mockery instead. Critics aside, Demi gave a raw, intense performance. She poured grit and determination into O'Neill. The role showed her fearlessness as an actress, but the backlash was loud. Hollywood began questioning her star power. For Demi, G.I. Jane was a turning point. Some saw it as a stumble. Others believed it was ahead of its time, misunderstood by audiences and critics alike. Either way, the film proved one thing. Demi Moore wasn't afraid to take risks no matter the cost. Tabloid queen. By the late 1990s, Demi Moore's personal life was dominating the headlines. Her marriage to Bruce Willis had been a Hollywood fairy tale. The two married in 1987 and quickly became one of the industry's most glamorous couples. They attended red carpets together but kept their home life grounded in Hailey, Idaho. They had 3 daughters, Rumor, Scout, and Tallulah. Outwardly, they seemed solid, but behind the scenes, their relationship was unraveling. In 1998, Demi and Bruce announced their separation. The news shocked fans. Rumors swirled about infidelity and clashing careers. Yet their split was surprisingly civil. Unlike most celebrity divorces, they stayed close. They co-parented their daughters, attended events together, and even went on blended family vacations. For a while, Demi kept a low profile, but in 2003, her love life made headlines again. She started dating Ashton Kutcher, a relationship no one saw coming. At 15 years her junior, Ashton was known for his comedic charm. The pairing sparked an immediate buzz. The two were inseparable. Paparazzi captured them at lavish vacations and glamorous events. In 2005, they tied the knot in a star-studded wedding. Fans were divided. Some loved the romance, while others mocked the age gap. Late-night comedians turned their relationship into punchlines. The couple played along, often poking fun at themselves. But behind the humor, cracks were forming. By 2011, things fell apart. Rumors of Ashton's infidelity hit the tabloids, and their separation became a public spectacle. Demi was cast in a vulnerable light. Her heartbreak was splashed across magazine covers. It was a stark contrast to the fierce, confident star people admired. The comeback that never was. In 2003, Demi Moore staged a high-profile return to Hollywood. She stepped into the role of Madison Lee, a former angel-turned-villain, in Charlie's Angels: Full Throttle. The part was a dramatic shift from her previous work. She underwent rigorous physical training to achieve a striking transformation. Her performance radiated strength and unapologetic charisma. Critics took notice, with many saying she outshined the younger leads. The film itself, however, was less successful. Critics dismissed its over-the-top action and thin plot, which overshadowed the cast's efforts. Despite this, Demi's reinvention as a powerful antagonist reminded audiences of her star power. Fans appreciated her ability to adapt and take risks. After the buzz of Charlie's Angels faded, Demi faced an industry in flux. By the mid-2000s, Hollywood was shifting towards superhero blockbusters and franchise-driven narratives. Leading roles in the mid-budget dramas where Demi had thrived were becoming rare. She adjusted by exploring ensemble films and character-driven roles. In 2006, she joined Bobby, Emilio Estevez's ensemble drama about the events surrounding Robert F. Kennedy's assassination. The film featured a star-studded cast, including Sharon Stone, Anthony Hopkins, and Lawrence Fishburne. Demi played Virginia Fallon, a lounge singer battling alcoholism. While her role was small, it was emotionally charged. Critics praised her depth and authenticity, calling her performance one of the film's highlights. Despite its critical acclaim, Bobby wasn't the breakout project Demi needed. The industry's priorities had changed, and she struggled to find work that matched the caliber of her earlier successes. By this point, her marriage to Ashton Kutcher had drawn more attention than her acting. Tabloid coverage of their relationship, particularly their age gap, often overshadowed her professional endeavors. Interviews and public appearances became more about her personal life than her craft. Demi continued acting, though her roles were fewer and smaller. In 2007, she starred in Flawless, a heist drama alongside Michael Caine. Her performance was solid, but the film received little attention. Other projects, like the independent drama Happy Tears, 2009, showcased her ability to take on complex characters, but they didn't reignite her star status. Demi also began experimenting with behind-the-scenes roles. She explored producing and supporting emerging talent. She worked on smaller creative projects that allowed her more control. While these ventures didn't make headlines, they reflected her determination to stay relevant in a rapidly changing industry. By the late 2000s, it was clear her big-screen comeback wasn't materializing. Hollywood had moved on, favoring younger stars and high-concept franchises. Personal struggles in the spotlight. The 2010s were a whirlwind for Demi Moore. Her marriage to Ashton Kutcher ended in 2011, and the fallout was brutal. Gossip columns were relentless, with rumors of Ashton's alleged infidelity filling every headline. Tabloids tore apart their relationship, analyzing every detail. Demi became the subject of pity and scrutiny. The media painted her as fragile, far removed from the powerful, confident star she had been. In January 2012, Demi's health made shocking headlines. A 911 call revealed she had suffered seizures after inhaling a substance at a party. The incident sent shockwaves through Hollywood. It wasn't just a health scare, it became a public spectacle. Soon after, rumors of substance abuse and extreme exhaustion surfaced. Paparazzi captured her looking thinner, fueling speculation about her well-being. The constant public attention magnified her personal struggles. During this time, Demi's relationship with her daughters, Rumor, Scout, and Tallulah, was strained. The pressures of fame, combined with her own challenges, had created distance. Her health scare marked a turning point. She started therapy and focused on recovery. Slowly, she rebuilt those bonds, making family a priority. The world was watching as Demi faced her demons. Therapy and mindfulness became her anchors. Close friends provided the support she needed. She began reclaiming her sense of self, step by step. Even with the public still watching her every move, Demi focused on healing. And while her progress was private, the world wondered what was next for her. The memoir that shocked everyone. In 2019, Demi Moore released her memoir, Inside Out. It wasn't like other celebrity tell-alls. There was no gloss, no sugarcoating. The book was raw and deeply personal. It wasn't just about her career. It was about survival. It was about her journey to understand herself. The memoir began with painful memories of her childhood. Demi shared how her father abandoned the family before she was born. Her mother's addiction left her navigating a world of chaos. At 15, Demi endured a traumatic assault by a man who had allegedly paid Moore's mother $500. These revelations set the tone. This wasn't a Hollywood story, it was a human one. She also opened up about her struggles with addiction. Demi explained how her unstable upbringing shaped her battles with substances and an eating disorder. The pressure to maintain a flawless image in Hollywood only made things worse. She admitted she often put her own needs aside to feel loved. That pattern, she said, extended to her relationships. The chapters about her marriage to Bruce Willis and Ashton Kutcher grabbed the most attention. Demi shared her regrets about trying to conform to Ashton's expectations during their marriage. She wrote about ignoring her instincts to please him and the toll it took. Readers connected with her honesty. Her struggles to balance love, self-worth, and societal pressure felt universal. Critics praised Inside Out. They admired her willingness to discuss addiction, body image, and Hollywood's double standards. Demi's raw honesty sparked conversations about issues many people face but rarely discuss. For some, the book changed how they saw her. She wasn't a fallen star, she was a survivor. The memoir became a bestseller. Fans and critics alike celebrated it. Inside Out didn't just share Demi's story, it reframed it. The book reminded the world that behind the headlines was a woman who had faced unimaginable challenges, and she was still standing, unapologetically herself. Reinvention and resilience. In recent years, Demi Moore has stepped away from the Hollywood spotlight. She's shifted her focus to projects that reflect her passions and values. Her career is no longer defined by chasing blockbuster roles. Instead, she's exploring new ways to stay creative and connect with her audience. One of the most talked about moments in her reinvention came in 2021. Demi walked the runway for Fendi's haute couture show. At 58, she radiated confidence and elegance. The appearance went viral. It challenged outdated ideas about aging in fashion. Fans and critics alike praised her. This wasn't just a fashion statement, it was a message. Age doesn't limit beauty or creativity. Demi has also embraced social media to stay connected with fans. On Instagram, she shares glimpses of her daily life. She posts moments with her daughters, Rumor, Scout, and Tallulah, and reflects on her personal growth. Her openness resonates. Younger fans admire her honesty and humor. By sharing her challenges, she's built a community that finds her relatable and inspiring. Mental health advocacy has become a major focus for Demi. She draws on her own struggles to help others. She speaks at events, joins awareness campaigns, and supports organizations that aid those battling addiction and mental health issues. Her story sparks important conversations and offers hope to people facing similar battles. Acting isn't her main focus anymore, but Demi hasn't stopped creating. She's found fulfillment in writing, philanthropy, and collaborations outside of Hollywood. She produces projects and works with fashion houses. Her journey now revolves around personal growth and creative freedom. Demi's story isn't about fame or box office numbers anymore. It's about resilience and reinvention. She's living life on her terms, and she's showing that success can mean something entirely different, something more meaningful,